Hey, thank you for joining me, Kat and Emma. We're gonna have so much fun on today's stream. It's we've already been having laughs before the stream started, so it's gonna be an awesome stream, I'm sure. Let's say hi to the people in the chat. It's kind of quiet, so we'll do that first, and then we'll do introductions. Leslie, Books, Girls, and Prayers, hi. Highs. Swank, howdy. Good to see you. Oh, that's right. So hi everybody with a zombie at the end because obviously Kat is doing the zombie thon. It's a zombie thon, not zombie thong. Which
yes, no thongs, no thongs allowed in zombie thon.
Let's just yeah. So I saw that and I was like, I think that was a different chat that popped up on. I think was it Nicole Buttercup? I was like, I want to join you for the zombie thong. I was like, oh.
Yes, it was Buttercup, yeah. And then Eloise was pointing out that an Australian thong is like a sandal. It's different. So maybe it could be like sandals for zombies so that they don't hurt their feet because like all the skin could be coming off so they could easily be damaged.
Well, it's amazing that all of us, though, initially thought of the other thong.
Yes, my mind went to the other thong. Initially, until it's clarified. So, Nadeem, hi, good to see you. Thank you for being here, Nadeem. Highs. Hello, ma'am. I hope that's ma'am. Today I finished reading Falling in Love and Nightingale Farm. Nice, 3 times. Wow, must be a good book.
It is. Cool. It's really good. Everybody should buy it.
There we go. Falling in Love with Nightingale Farm. Everyone go buy it. No zombies worrying. What's the point? Leslie makes a good point, actually.
Well, Leslie, it depends on which thong you're talking about.
Oh my god. I'm not trying to Google this. I can't Google that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
normally I would Google this. But I think I will skip the Googling today for now on that particular word anyway. Maybe you can find something a bit more family friendly for me to Google later. No matter how many times I've read this book, I never get tired. Nice. Well, there you go. That's a vote of confidence. Yeah, Leslie, that's a good shout with the what is the point? So yeah, actually, we should all petition for zombie movies to have zombie thongs in the future, one way or another.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
I think that might be a worthwhile petition to
because also saving humanity, because you've got these zombies there, or like, oh, what's going to stop them? Something riding up their butt. That's what.
Or the sandals.
Yes, if the zombies weren't slow enough, the thong will slow them down.
Exactly.
Either thong, either definition of the thong will slow them down, I think.
Well, if you think about it, though, like how many people died wearing a thong and were reanimated as a zombie?
I think you just need to hit the beach once, and then you'll be good. There's both thongs in the beach, right? I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so welcome, ladies. Thank you for being on my screen today. Would you like to do some intros? Let's start with Kat, shall we? Kat.
Hello, I'm Kat of Kat's Novel Adventures. I mainly talk books, but it's all about just adventure. I like having little adventures. And let's see, I do some live shows on Wednesday afternoon. If anybody wants to do some sprints with me, I'm currently hosting a zombie-thon, read-a-thon, because May is Zombie Awareness Month. And I'm pretty much reading a lot of zombie books. In fact, I'm reading The Reapers Are the Angels by Alden Bell and My Big Fat Zombie Goldfish. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Nice. Thank you. I need to update the description. So I promise people the description will have the links to both channels for Kat and Emma. So cool. Thank you, Kat, for the introduction. And Emma, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Okay, I'm Emma. I generally write kissing books. My latest book is called The Baby Plan, and it's available now. I also write children's picture books and non-fiction books for writers, and I am a book coach, a writing instructor, and a freelance developmental editor. I have a YouTube channel, which you should go and check out if you haven't already. And I am very, very happy to be here, to be hanging out with Andy and Kat.
Oh, thank you. We are happy to have you here. John Douglas popped in. Afternoon. Hi, John. Hi, Size. And of course, Joanne is here. Hi to everyone. What are you guys working on? It's cool. Yeah, the Zombie-thon. Like, how's the reading going, Kat? How's that going?
It's going okay. I mean, I'm not reading. I'm kind of like just taking my time with the reading. Zombie-thon's really meant for you to be kind of like zombified, I guess. I mean, it's just supposed to be like a really laid back kind of readathon. This year, I didn't do a lot of reading prompts or watching prompts. I included prompts about articles, podcasts, also cocktails and snacks that are zombie related. So pretty much, I mean, I'm just having a relaxing month. I guess that's the best way I should say it. I've read 2 books, 2 zombie books already. No, I take that back. Only 1 zombie book I completed, these 2, and I have 2 more on my list, as well as some short stories, but I'm not going to get to everything. I just have other things going on. I mean, I've been attending some watch parties and hosting my Zombie-thon sprints. Now, I have been doing shenanigans with Zombie-thon. So anybody who has, yes, if anybody has come to Zombie-thon sprints, Swank has come to them and knows that I like to tell really bad zombie jokes.
Yeah, those are funny. Those are funny. Do you have one for us today?
No, but I could get one if you would like me to tell you one.
We would love one. We would love one. And Emma, just so I want to lay some ground rules here, because last time we did this,
What?
we got to lay some ground rules. This is specifically for Emma, because last time we did this, chats and stuff with our channels, Emma was busy working on a voodoo doll with my.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I had a headache for like.
That is true.
years.
That is true. Okay.
So no voodoo dolls, but we can do zombie jokes.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, well, you brought up the voodoo doll. She might make you into a zombie.
You can zombify me. That's fine.
Could I do a zombie doll of Andy?
Yeah, there's no voodoo dolls though. That's really bad.
Oh, yes, that would be hilarious.
It was fine. The headaches weren't caused by me dropping it on the floor.
It was totally caused by you. It was totally caused.
How coincidental! How coincidental that it happened.
Weird coincidence. What can we do?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the planets. Like, I don't know how many planets we have in our solar system. Like, is it 11 or 50? Anyway, we've got like 500 planets that align in our solar system. So it's like all the planets in the universe align, and that's how coincidental it was for me to have headaches when you had your voodoo doll of me.
It was so special. It was.
Such a coincidence.
No. I blame Kat. She's a bad influence.
No, don't you?
I'm a bad influence?
Yes. I've never made a voodoo doll before.
That's only influencing the zombie thong. That's the
yeah, right. Okay. I'm gonna put a zombie joke in the chat.
Cool. That's good. So hi Helen. Helen is here. Hi, good to see you.
Hi Helen. Helen started a YouTube channel recently.
Okay, cool.
Everybody should go and check it out and subscribe.
Feel free to plug that.
She doesn't have a wrench. Maybe I could do it. I'll see if I can.
Yeah, you can do it. You've got a wrench. See, look at me delegating to Emma. Do some work, Emma.
I know. I love it when you boss me around. It's so good.
Oh my god,
My
this is not
favorite.
usually
I'm
how it
really good
goes.
at being told what to do.
Yeah, you're usually bossing me around to do more writing or something.
Yeah,
Buttercup is
so
here.
make the most of it.
Her nickname is Buttercup. I'm currently listening to a seminar. Cool, thank you for popping by. All good. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, of course. What does a zombie do when he's sick? I don't know. What does a zombie do when he's
What
sick?
do you do when you
Are y'all ready for this?
I
Like
can't
we'll have to
wait.
be.
I can't wait.
I did not make this joke up. I'm going to preface the answer by saying I did not make this joke up.
Okay.
So if it's bad, it's
The
bad.
cat is distancing herself from the joke.
That's right. Here it goes.
He groans and coffins. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. I can see why you might want to distance yourself with that one. Oh, dear.
Unfortunately, I can't hire anybody on Fiverr to write me some really good zombie jokes for Zombie-thon.
Oh dear. That was good.
If anybody, oh yes, if I could get a Zombie-thon joke writer, that would even be a job.
That's very niche. I think you just need someone who does like jokes or one-liners or something. I think
Right.
that might be what you need. JK, it's honestly been cool, making progress. Cool. Hope the Project Sugar and Spice is good. Yeah, the zombie joke. What does a zombie do when he's sick? He groans and coffins. Oh my goodness, no. I can't.
I made Swank groan.
Aw.
Oh dear, it was funny. It did get a laugh. It did get a laugh though.
Yes.
So good. So there is Helen's channel. If anyone would like to go and say hi and subscribe and like and all that good stuff. It really is a bad
Yeah.
joke. And Leslie
Yes.
loves it.
Today was supposed to be chats and giggles, but I think it's going to be all giggles.
It might just be all giggles. And that's fine. We can just do giggles. That's okay. We can do giggles and sprints. I'm just gonna update the thing, and maybe sprints.
I like it when we call it Giggles. What
Giggles.
do you call a flesh-eating bee?
What do you call a flesh-eating bee?
A zombie.
A zombie.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you just come up with that yourself?
No.
No, yeah, I didn't
I
think
was going to
that.
say if she did, then I could hire Emma to be my Zombie-thon joke writer.
Don't do that. I am really funny. I'm funnier than that joke. I
But
didn't make it up because it wasn't that
but
good.
Emma would have to have like a pen name for her zombie jokes, though.
Yeah, well, it's gonna incorporate the word thong somewhere. I don't know if you can make it happen, but I think we should at least try. Highs. Ooh, what's a snake's favorite subject? History. Okay, that's good.
Ooh.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That would have been a good one for when I was a silver snake for old school April.
Well, what can you do? Keep it for next year.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a good one for next year. Cool. Yeah, I think we run out of jokes. Well, I've run out of jokes for zombies for now, but that's okay.
Just let me know if you need another one, and I'll look one up.
Yeah, she'll be there.
Yeah. We'll have to. Yeah, by all means, get a few more jokes. I think we're okay with having laughs. But yeah, before I forget, want to formally congratulate you, Kat. 1K subscribers.
Yay! Yes. Can you believe that? I'm like so amazed. I was like shocked.
Yeah, you're popular.
Oh. Yeah, so I was very, very surprised. It happened. Actually, I made the 1K when I was on my Zombie-thon sprints.
Nice. Did you do a special zombie joke for that? Like to celebrate?
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything at all. I was so well, both of you know that you could have a number at 1:00 and by 1:30 you have a different number. And then like the next day could be totally different. So I didn't want to say, I took a screenshot of it. I sent it to my husband and my 2 boys. And I'm like, I sent it to my sister. I also sent it to my friend Simon. I was like, okay, so if this doesn't stay 1K, I won't feel humiliated in front of these people. But I was like, I just want everybody to see that I actually made it. I made it. And they were all excited and everything. But until I got the email, the official email from YouTube saying you made it, I didn't put it out really publicly. Now, somebody did say something on Sprints that day, and I was like, shh, don't say that.
I hope it wasn't me. It may have been me.
So anyway, I'm excited about it, but it's almost like, you know, you work hard to get to it, and then it's here, and then it's like, okay, what next? Like, what's the next thing? You know?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a challenge, a fun little challenge, and the journey, of course, is more exciting. But then you get there, and it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah, what's next?
What am I going to do now?
You keep going, I guess. But what do you plan to do? Do you have any plans?
I have a couple of things that I want to do, but I'm not putting anything out until I can actually get something down on paper and decide what to do, because I'm still really far behind. I just cannot get caught up. I don't know what the issue is. I just think it's just too many things going on at one time. I don't know how you two are, but if you get behind and then you've still got other stuff coming at a pretty steady rate, it's like, how do you know, it's like you have to take time off. Honestly, that would be really the only way I could get caught up, is to just literally just take time off and just focus on getting caught up. But like, I'm behind with my wrap ups because I'm behind on writing my reviews. So it's like, I don't want to start anything new until I can at least get caught up, because then you're juggling something new on top of what, you know, you're trying to still catch up. But yes, hopefully this summer I will have some little things pop up. Y'all be the first to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know for sure. And you know, there's a young group and stuff, right? So, you know, if there's anything we can do, we can help.
One thing I will say, Andy, I don't mean to interrupt, is I will be reading Emma's NaNoWriMo tip book. It's on my list for 24 books of 2024, because I really am going to strive. Yes, everybody look at this book. If you're interested in NaNoWriMo, in July, they're having a camp, and I want to try to participate in July this year. So I figure if I can read the book in June and get my outline of what I want to do, then I can do it. I mean, it's going to be my project of documenting my trip to Sicily that I took in September. So I have notes and everything that I took along the way. So that is what I'd really like to work on during that time. So.
Are you thinking of making it like a memoir kind of thing? Whoa. Were you undercover for the CIA? I know you can't say anything, but if you were, can you blink at some point during the stream? If you were,
I wasn't anything that mysterious or awesome. I was just myself with my family, being a tourist in Sicily.
That sounds really fun, actually. And the food must have been amazing, right?
The food was so amazing. Like, I could not believe. And you know, the other thing, everything was fresh. Like, just everything was so different than it is here. I can't explain it, but it's almost like they go out to their garden, pick the vegetables and everything they're going to have, and they bring it into their restaurant, and then they cook it for you. It's just amazing to me how everything, all of the produce and everything we got was very fresh. I got to try some different things, and I didn't even feel like, even though stuff is cooked in like olive oil and you're eating pasta and all that kind of stuff. And of course, everything's like, it seems like a 9-course meal. It's like they brought us out one thing at the restaurant, and I thought that was our dinner. I mean, like that was it. And it was not. And we also had a couple cook for us. And it was the same thing. When the couple cooked for us, they brought us out this tray. It had the cheeses and the meats, kind of like a charcuterie board, I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And we thought that was like the deal, but no. I mean, we must have had like, I don't know, 6 different dishes, plus we had dessert. Like I felt like a pregnant whale by the time I left the the table.
That's a wheel you out. That's a wheel you out with the amount of food you had.
It was a lot. And I mean, we had leftovers. It wasn't like, we ate tons. You could, portion it out. Once we found out that the first thing they brought out was not the dinner, we were like, okay, so we have to kind of pace ourselves or whatever. But yeah, I loved so much of the food. It was just wonderful. Wonderful.
Nice. I've never actually been to Italy. I gotta go at some point in my lifetime. Before I kick the bucket. I've got 2 bucket lists actually. One of them is an actual bucket list that I want to do, and the other one's a regret list of things I wanted to do.
Oh no!
No, actually, I don't have a list. I don't have any lists. It's just things I wish I would hopefully one day do, but it just it's an ever growing list. Like I wanted to do like carpentry. I wanted to do this and that, and it's all weird.
You can still do that.
You can still do that.
Everything. Yeah, stop being silly.
I have a list of 100 dreams, Andy. That's what mine is called. It's a list of 100 dreams, and it's broken up by topics. Like I have my travel section, and I have my, kind of creative section, where I want to write and do my channel and act, and then other like different things. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get to everything, but it's nice. It's worth a try, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to have something to aim for, a goal of sorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you plan on maybe starting the memoir in July for Cat Nano?
Possibly? Well, it's not. It's just going to be for my blog. It's going to be for my blog. Maybe it could turn into something else. I know there are blog writers out there who end up turning their blogs into memoirs, but I'm going to probably do like a day by day kind of thing, like different, because we went to different places. So maybe one blog post will be about Segesta, and another one will be about Montreal, and the one in Palermo where I thought I was going to die because they have terrible drivers there. Palermo has the worst drivers on the planet that I've ever seen.
Gotcha.
Of course, I haven't been to all over the world, so there might be worse than that, but it was pretty scary. My brother-in-law drove. He rented a car for us the whole time we were there. And all I can say is I had to thank him profusely because he kept us alive, even though there were crazy drivers there. I mean, he lives in Atlanta, so maybe that might be why he could drive so much better, because Atlanta drivers are pretty crazy too.
Well, I'm glad he got you back in one piece.
Me too.
So yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's actually okay. Yeah, I did want to do a blog as well. So I mean, yeah, I don't think I have time. I've got another channel that I need to work on, and I haven't done anything. And Camp Nano, I think I will probably try and finish my work in progress, which is not going very well. So I don't know. It's going very slowly. I say it takes me ages to update anything because it does. It's like it takes me like 50 days to update 5 lines or something.
No, it doesn't. Why are you just trying to make me cross? Like, is this like hidden cameras in my house just to see how cross you can get me?
We were talking about this backstage, and we were talking about the bird watcher disguise, right?
Cat, behave.
Anyway, the idea, I'll let you guys go with it, but the idea was this guy was supposed to be he's a bad guy, right? He's doing dodgy stuff. He's going around places, and he's using binoculars as a bird watcher disguise to scope out things, right? From a distance.
No, it wasn't just the binoculars though. You said, and I want you to get up Google, and I want you to Google in front of everybody bird watching outfit and see what comes up, because that's what you said he was wearing in London in the Starbucks.
Oh my goodness! But
Yeah.
he had a bird watching outfit, and that was reasonable. It wasn't like if you
Get up,
scroll down,
Google it.
if you scroll
Do they
down
have
like
do
half,
they have like images of a bird watching outfit?
They
Because if
do.
it does,
they
I want to
do,
see
they
it.
do.
We need
I'm
to
gonna
see
show
the
you
images.
right now. This is what it looks like.
Thank you. Yeah, you're going to Google and you are just putting bird watching outfit.
Okay,
Yeah,
what would you like
nothing
me to
else.
Google? Bird watching
Well, how
Images,
did you
put
get those
images.
ones?
No, go to images. Go to images. I
Yeah,
want to
just
see.
go to images.
Look, if someone was
where the
dressed like that,
Andrew? That is not what was showing up when you did it before.
I'm telling you, this is what is showing up right
You've done
now.
something to that.
I haven't done anything.
I cannot believe you've done that.
I've done nothing.
What
What
is
have I
wrong?
done?
Why are you the way you are?
Oh my god, why am I the way I am? Oh my god, Kat, look at this.
That is not what was showing up when you did the Google before. I want to see the ones that were showing up before.
In my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of an outfit with these like really bright colors and all kinds of birds or something on it.
No, it's like green. It's like you're a forest, the ones that we saw. Go to the images and scroll down. I cannot believe you've done this. I don't know how you've done it.
It's Google. I mean,
I'm so mad with you.
I don't look. I wish I controlled Google, but sadly,
Scroll
I don't.
it down. Scroll.
Oh my goodness.
Find the ones. Kat's gonna think I've gone completely bonkers. I do not know how you've done this. This is not what was showing up.
I literally Googled this right now.
I do not believe you. Why? Seriously, why are you the way you are?
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay, anyway, yes, there was someone with a more outrageous outfit. But it wasn't like...
I've got it up straight away. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to send this to you, and then you're going to put it up on the screen.
Oh, I was going to say, yes, Emma should have taken... Oh, look! Yes,
Did you think
is
it was
it
a
the
camo?
camouflage?
Yeah, but you don't wear the camo gear all the time. You don't go into like Starbucks with camo gear. Right?
That's
but
what
did you
I was
clarify
saying.
That in your writing, though?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You just said it was a bird watching outfit. So I was like, what's that? And I Googled it. And Andy will put up the results of what I got.
Oh, my God.
Show
and
it.
I was
It's that Wings e-store camouflage clothing.
Oh, dear. Anyway, I decided to rework the whole thing because that disguise obviously wasn't working for Emma. So instead of bird watching, I went to a photographer. So it's still kind of the same thing, but using camera and lens to scope things out, and that seemed to be easier to understand, I think.
Well, I'm so glad you chose that instead of like a pirate and decided to look through a spyglass. That would have been
a pirate in the center of London.
A bird watcher in a ghillie suit in the center of London.
Hold on. What did you say? A bird watcher?
Oh my gosh.
In a guinea
It's
suit?
called a ghillie suit. And I've sent it to you on Discord. You are really, really annoying me now, Andrew. Seriously.
Oh, my God.
Oh, she is annoyed because she said your full name. She said your full name, Andy.
There we go.
I'm in trouble.
Yes, because she said
that's what was showing up.
She has her mom voice and she's saying Andrew. Yes. Could you imagine if that was literally in the Starbucks?
Yes, exactly.
I'd like a mocha latte, your largest kind you have, because I will be out looking for birds, watching them for hours.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna take a stroll through Hyde Park.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. I'm crying.
Well, I'm glad we're having lots of giggles here.
Yes. And I'm not even drinking giggle juice.
Yeah. Oh dear. So Eloise popped in. Hi Eloise. Good to see you. And bakery rivals to lovers. Project Sugar and Spice, which is cool. How are you? How's highs? Oh dear. Yeah. For the chat. Stay
for the spat.
Yeah, the domestic.
It is, yeah. Well, it's all Emma's fault anyway. Ooh, bird watching is so much fun. Do you bird watch, Joanne? I'm curious. There's a bird that made its nest under one of the corners of my family's patio. Every time I go to see it, it flies. Aw, see, that's why you need bird watching outfits. That's why you need binoculars.
What, in a kitchen?
You probably don't. You don't need the full camo gear, but maybe you can do it like like binoculars of some kind. But then you go perch somewhere. Exactly. So now if you get like high powered binoculars, then or monocular, you can do like just one, and then you'll be able to see the bird and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, so once I got rid of the bird watcher disguise in the story, it took me like 50 days to reintroduce the photographer disguise because that was like okay, it was more like a few hours, right? But it felt like 500 days. Um, but anyway, I have a crow friend that comes visit me. Oh my god, this is good. I saw a couple of bald eagles flying around my house yesterday. So you've got friends that are crows. Like
Mhm.
that is awesome. That
I
like
would
do
have
you?
suspected that about Eloise, to be honest. She
Sorry.
has that kind of
No.
aura about her that she would have like animal friends.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
and that's a special power. That like
Mhm.
I don't think birds
Yeah.
like to hang out with me, which is kind of sad. Both the animal and human variety. Swallows are trying to nest in our garage at the moment. No, that is
Yeah,
cool.
we used to have that. We used to have a barn, like an open barn, and the swallows used to come, but they're not very good with their babies, and you'd go out there and you'd find one splat on the floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know it's nature, but my god.
I know it's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Joanne does bird watch, which is cool. The birds usually go visit my family patio, bathe and bird bath. Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. That is nice. That is very nice. I've named her Karma. Why is that?
Well, because
Karma's
she like she goes and like gets like evens things out, I guess. Eloise
How
is
does
an animal
the
friend.
even
Maybe
things out?
well,
Like, there's
maybe
gotta
she
be a
sends maybe she sends Karma off to go and like deal with her enemies. Like for example, if there was someone she was streaming with who was like really annoying, then she could send Karma to go and like check out his eyes or something like that.
Oh
You know, that would have to be a use for the bird, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I guess. I can't help but feel I'm kind of targeted on this one.
Mhm.
This is because I told you can't make a voodoo doll of me. This is you trying to get back at me, right? You're gonna
You're trying
get
to
Eloise.
control me. You're trying to
You're gonna get-
control me.
You're gonna get Eloise to send Karma to come and poke my eyes out or something now.
Yeah.
No, she's only going to have it poke one eye out, and then you could be a pirate.
Oh.
I might be zombified by then. I have to make sure I get like zombie thongs or something just to make sure I'm all like fashionably dressed.
I'll tell you what. I'll do you
look
a
that
deal.
up.
I'll do you a deal. You do have lovely eyes, so you can save the eyes if you wear the thong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that.
He's going to think long and hard about it.
Oh my god, it's terrible. So Eloise feeds Karma peanuts and mealworms. Okay. Hummingbirds all year round. Oh, little bird friends. That's cute. That's very cute. It's for the witchy vibe aesthetic. Oh my god. Witchy vibe. But you don't write witchy stuff, do you? Or do you? I don't think it's witchy stuff.
Need to.
It doesn't feel weird. Or maybe you're going to get into that. Emma gets me. Yeah, Emma is
I do, babe.
yeah. Disney princess. Yep, I think so. Yeah, we just been chatting and giggling, mostly giggling to be honest. Like I say, but yeah. So yeah, what can I say? Anyway, I guess we should move on a little bit. Any updates from your side, Emma? So Kat's obviously got her zombie-thon, and she's reading zombies, and so far I don't think anything has come up with zombies and thongs or zombies in thongs. But if anyone wants to write about that, by all means.
Yeah,
Or if
that
you
could
wanna-
be a thing.
exactly.
That could definitely be a thing.
Yeah, it's like a whole beach got like bitten and zombified, and then they all had thongs, like
Yeah.
both things, and there you go.
Is there zombie erotica?
And then they could have the thong song playing in the background.
They could. Let me see that song.
Zombies, people getting zombified with the thongs, and the thong song playing in the background, and Emma's just narrating the whole book. Emma can narrate the book; it'll be fine.
Oh, that flesh is scandalous. Oh yeah, there is zombie erotica taken by the zombie.
Ooh.
Kat, would you?
Oh, I will.
Go ahead.
I will tell you this. There is a short story called "Eat Me" by Robert McCammon, and it has a zombie sex scene in it.
Fair enough.
Just to let you know. But
There you go.
they didn't mention anything about thongs in it.
So that's a niche. So if anyone wants to do a zombie thong and erotica, that's like a super niche thing that you never know, right? You never know. You gotta try
Never
it.
know.
And
You never know.
like,
Now watch. From this point on, I'm gonna read something, and it's gonna have that in there.
and if it doesn't, you should write it. Like you should.
Yes, we could write a
Yeah.
poem. That would be short and sweet. We could write a
There you go.
poem.
There you go. I'm not very poetic. I think Emma's more poetic than I am.
I'm absolutely terrible at poetry. I had my first poem in an exhibition a few months ago, and it was completely dreadful.
Oh dear.
Check your Discord, sweetie.
Okay.
Then-
But yeah, I'm not very good at like language.
Okay, I'm not either. I'll just write a haiku.
I am the witchy vibe. Okay, cool. Monsters romance fears. Yeah.
Mhm. It
Owen
is.
knows.
Mhm.
Owen knows.
Ellen says, not that I would know anything about it.
Yeah. Helen knows nothing about monster
Oh, no
romance.
one does. No one ever does.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I think that's like a proper niche that. Oh my god, what did you just send me, Emma? This is showing it on screen. Oh dear.
Don't show it on screen.
Like she just sent me a book recommendation which is essentially zombie erotica, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't.
Oh my goodness.
But you might like it.
No, I won't
You
like
like
it.
me to suggest books for you?
No.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, Andy, it could be research.
Good. And
Your
as
bird watcher
book
might
goes-
come upon or your photographer, excuse me. Your photographer might come upon some zombie activity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Good
this
point.
reminds me. I got so stressed with your ad lib stuff. I think maybe we should do something like that with the photographer and the zombie and Emma poetry. Like,
Should I create a Mad Libs for this topic? If I run out of Mad Libs, I might have to start my own Mad Libs. I might have to write my own.
If you would like to, by all means, It's, oh my goodness. Yeah. So cats are doing the zombie-thon. Emma, what are you up to these days?
I am. Okay. I have some stuff that don't make me big, sweetie, please.
Sorry.
This space is meant for small screen. I've got a little bit that I need to add to my book that is going to be coming out this summer. The working title is Center Stage, and it's about a ballerina, and it's completely awesome. But it needs just a little bit of tweaking, so I need to do that. And I'm also working on my Regency romance. And so during the sprints, I am going to be reading a Rapid Regency, an author's quick guide to writing Regency romance, which is really, really handy. Like it's not very thick, but it's absolutely full of just really useful information to get you started, like stuff about what they used to wear, about different names, about the titles that that people had and how they would address each other. And just like, yeah, useful stuff like that to kind of get you started. And then you can look more into individual things. But it's a really handy guide if anybody is wanting to write a regency.
Nice. If I ever do write a regency, I will definitely check that book out.
There we go.
Unlikely at this point, but yeah. Hi Heather, good to see you. Hope everything's going well. Good to see you. Is there a book that like explains how to use bird watchers in books? Like, I feel like I needed that one before I started writing my bird watching disguise. So if anyone has like a recommendation on that one, feel free to share.
Yeah, it's just The name of the book is Rapid Regency. It's by Jewel Allen. She also wrote Rapid Release, which is really, really good. It's a book all about how to kind of rapid release books if you're self-publishing and the benefits of it and series and things like that.
Cool. Rapid Regency. I meant Rapid Release. Oh, it was called Rapid Regency, right?
Rapid Regency, and then there's Rapid Release, and we're going to write a spy romance, a Regency spy romance. That would be amazing.
I don't know if we can.
Except not Regency, because Andy's going to want all of like the pow-pows and like all the gadgets and things.
You know, they had spy back in the day as well, right? You know, like spycraft hasn't suddenly cropped up in the past like 10 minutes.
Sure, but I feel you're going to want like the gadgets and things, aren't you?
I know. Low tech spycraft is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, okay. You'd be happy if he's just got if he's just using his pistol.
Andy, I found something for you.
It's a romance.
Go ahead. Would you like to present?
Oh.
No, I'm just saying I was Googling and it says on YouTube there's a video writing prompt. You are a spy disguised as a bird watcher.
See, I wonder if the guy wasn't or girl. It could be male or female, right?
I'm gonna have to watch this just to see.
In Starbucks in London, it's important to add that in.
It just says that you are a spy disguised as a bird watcher. I can't see anything until I click on it. What is your bird watching RV?
Oh dear.
Yeah, so I guess you could Google that on YouTube and it'll take you to it. It's a creative writing prompt. So apparently,
there we go.
Someone needed that information in order for them to put that video out there.
Yeah.
So what was it? What was the prompt called again?
You are a spy disguised as a bird watcher. And it looks like it got 91.5 thousand plus views from 7 years ago. It's only a minute. It's only a minute and 1 second.
I'm an idiot. This is clearly a thing. You need to change it back.
I just spent 500 hours changing it.
Oh my goodness, Kat, you would not believe the fuss. Okay, the messages that I got about how terrible this was, that he was having to rewrite this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. I just had to remove a goat from every single scene inside our house throughout an entire 60,000 word novel. And he is going, oh, there's one scene that I have to change what the guy's wearing in.
Yeah, but there's a difference, right? There's a difference because you are clearly a pro. So like handling something like that is like no problem. You eat that for breakfast. You know what I mean? Like for me, as a new writer to fiction, it obviously takes me a lot longer. And
it was traumatic. It was traumatic for him.
It really was.
It was traumatic for me listening to it.
This is the equivalent of writer's baptism by fire, right? That's basically what it is. No, I'm not exaggerating. Okay, maybe it's a slight exaggeration, but basically that's what it felt like. Oh dear. Oh, by the way, Emma was talking about her the book that she's writing, I think,
Okay.
that you're working on, and you just have some bits, and it's going to be fine. Remember, you're just talking about it. Or did I make it up?
The Regency romance.
Yeah, the Regency.
The
Yeah.
Regency is horrible. The summer one is fine. I just need to like fiddle with a couple of scenes, and then it's like good to go.
Yeah, the
It's
summer
going
one.
to
That's right.
period.
Yeah, so the summer one, see this is the difference between you and I. So my initial reaction to my book, which I'm writing right now, is it's really bad, right? And then you go to someone like Emma, she's like, oh yeah, my summer book, yeah, it's awesome, it's gonna be great. I just have a few little fiddly bits, and then it'll be done like in two minutes, and then it'll be another bestseller. All
But
good.
it's finished. It's finished. Yours isn't finished. I've been working on it for a long time. Actually, this one I am pleased with. This one's good. Sometimes I'm like, I think it's quite good. This one's good.
Yeah, Kat, you're not familiar with Emma's modesty, but basically she always does this. It's like, oh yeah, I spent like 5 minutes writing that junk. I don't know why it's a bestseller.
No.
No, yeah, you're right. You spent 10 minutes writing it.
So are you both going to participate in Nano in July?
Yes, we are.
I have to.
Yes.
Because
I have to.
So no, I do plan to try and finish this. So I had an initial target to finish. Like, I know it was a bit lofty, but I wanted to finish one novel of about 50,000 words or more within 2 months, thereabouts, 1 to 2 months. And then we are in May, and I haven't written one book yet. And I'm nowhere near 50,000 words. I've only just crossed over 25,000 words recently. So it's going to take me a long time to, I underestimated how difficult it would be to write, because I know how to write. I just don't know what to write. So writing itself, I'm okay with, but I don't know what to write. So like the birdwatcher thing, right? You guys, seriously, it took me like ages to come up with. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I get my ideas in the shower. So I go shower. I thought this is a really great idea.
There's not many ideas. You take like 5 minutes to shower.
Well, maybe I should spend more time in the shower then to get more ideas. Anyway, it took me like ages to get the idea of a birdwatcher as a disguise. And then it took Emma all of 2 seconds to say, no, this is really bad. This is a crap idea. You can't do this. And it took me like 500 days to rewrite the whole thing. So all in all, it takes me a while to get a story. And that seems to be where the time goes for me anyway. So once I know what to write or where the story is going, it goes quite fast. I can write like I can write 1,000, 2,000 words a day, like if I know where the story is going. But the problem is getting the story and where I think it should go. That takes so much time, and I'm only a third into writing this book, so I'm targeting probably 75,000 words at this point. So I think I would need all of June and all of July to get this book done. And that is basically my updated goal to kind of coincide with Camp Nano. So I know it's a roundabout way of like explaining what my goals are, but basically because Emma says I have to write, so there we go. That's what it is.
I do.
Yeah. And what do you have any goals for Camp Nano? For the blog specifically, or anything else, Kat? Or you kind of
No, I'm just going to focus on that. I need to focus on that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure I'll spend some time of it outlining and trying to get my thoughts together and how I want to, my notes together and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'll necessarily be writing day one. It just depends on how well I can get my act together in June, I guess. But yeah, it's hard to balance. Like I used to blog a lot more, and I haven't. I think I've done 2 blog posts this year. It's like you have to make a choice. with your time. You're given 168 hours in a week. And with that time, you've got to deduct if you work outside your home, you have to deduct the time that you're actually sleeping, and then taking care of your family, going to appointments or whatever else you have. And then you have that little pocket of time, and you have to decide, what do I do with it? Am I going to read during that time? Am I going to write during that time? Am I going to film a YouTube video? Will I be live, for so many hours? So I need to get back to the point I was where I can kind of compartmentalize my time. I was doing really well with that before everything kind of fell apart in my world. And I need to get back to that part of it. So one of my goals for this year was to time track at least once per quarter to see where my time was going. So I did it in March and didn't even really take the time to, I time tracked, but didn't even take the time to see how much time I had because I was so busy with stuff. So I'll be time tracking again in June, and I want to do it the first week of June. And because I'm, on hiatus from work right now, and have that little extra time, and actually see where my time goes and how much. Part of my issue is I'm not a great time manager. I will get involved in something, and instead of saying, I'm just going to write for the 1 hour and wherever I stop is where I stop. Well, if I happen to be in the middle of something good and the, words are coming or whatever it is that I'm doing, I don't stop. And so then I may end up, instead of an hour, it might be 2 hours. And so then the hour that I could have been doing something else that I needed to do, that gets pushed to the side. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just,
yeah, absolutely.
Or the same thing with filming. I could say I'm going to block out 3 hours to film a video. Well, if I'm interrupted 10 times or it's not flowing or whatever happens during that time, it could end up being 5 hours. Well, then guess what? Those 2 hours that I thought I would be doing something else was spent on doing this project. So I have to be better about kind of letting things go, I guess. Like if I say I'm going to write an hour every day, which I am doing my writing challenge, and I do write something every day for at least the 24 minutes. But if I say I'm going to write for an hour every day, I need to stick to that hour. And then I either need to bring a little notebook with me or something and keep jotting ideas or talk into my voice on my phone if I get, want to keep that momentum going, but then continue. Because I find that's my biggest hurdle is I'm not good. I'm not a good time manager.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I'm sure Emma, well, I certainly relate, but Emma must relate because we're both like writers. We write stuff. We are artistic in a way. This is all kind of art stuff. And anyone who does art knows you can't just, like, if you have a canvas and you've got the brush in the paint and it's all like mixing, right? And it's all liquid. You don't want the paint to dry. You gotta paint when the paint is wet. You can't paint when the paint is dry. So when the paint is wet, it's a bad example.
I disagree.
But you can keep going.
I disagree.
Really?
Like,
So you would
yeah.
mid-sentence? You would go, oh, and their eyes met, and then you just stop.
Yeah.
And then you'd stop.
I did that. I did that for years. I've got a video out today where it was a chat with Andy and Estelle and Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook and Tracy Mayhew, and we were all talking about how we managed to fit writing in, how on earth we've managed to do it with everything else in our lives and actually publish books. And what I was saying is that when I first started writing properly, my youngest was only 2 years old, and my oldest was 8. And I've got 4 boys. So I just got very, very good very quickly at picking up a notebook or having my laptop open and just writing a paragraph or a little speech or something like that, because I had to be able to work in those short bursts and be able to get into it straight away and then leave it again when somebody needed me, or it was, time to go and pick somebody up or whatever. I just made use of the tiny little bits of time. So I think ideally yeah, you set out your paints and everything, and lots of it, and you don't want them to get dry. But in reality, you have the paints out all the time, and you cover them up so that they stay wet. Is that a good analogy? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I think I struggle with that. So I definitely struggle with that. Like I like to try and see things to some kind of reasonable point to stop, you know? So it's like watching a movie and then there's adverts. I can stop during the advert. But if it's a movie that's kind of going through a gun scene or some kind of action scene, I don't want to stop when they are having the action scene. Do you know what I mean? I want to stop when they've done the action scene and they've gone, ooh, that was really tough, wasn't it? And then they cut into a different scene. That's when I want to take my break. You know, so I wouldn't be able to like stop midway mid.
Yeah. But if I hadn't learned to do that, I wouldn't have written 14 books.
Yeah, I who am I to argue with the pro? So she
no,
is
like people work in different ways, and I think
I was going to say, and it could be your tendency. It could be whatever tendency you are, you know, and personality wise, you know, there are sometimes when you have a thought, and if I don't get it down, sometimes I lose it, and I can't always recapture that same exact thought that I had at that moment, and that can be a frustrating thing. So that's why sometimes I just have to get it down. And if I know that I absolutely have to stop, I don't have a choice, I will quickly write those words down somehow. So when I go back to it, I can kind of try to formulate it again. But I've had it happen with a video before that I had to leave. I had to leave here because I had to take my mom to the doctor, and I'm an hour away. So I just stopped wherever I was. And when I got back to it, I just put a slide in between, and it said something like 5 hours later. So that people could tell, well, she doesn't look quite the same as she did earlier in the video. But it was my way of like just basically making myself feel better that I had to stop at that moment. I couldn't just keep going, you know, and I need to do more of that, honestly, with my videos, because in the grand scheme of things, I don't think anybody really cares. I really don't. I care. You know, I want it to be a certain way or whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think anybody, if I went back to look at how many people watched that video or how many views I got on it, I mean, it was a decent amount. It wasn't like anybody was like, oh my gosh, I can't. And I mean, and there might be people who do stop in their videos quite often, and I would never know it because you edit everything. So it's just trying to not be so hard on myself. I think that's one thing. I have to give myself a little more grace. And otherwise I'm never going to fit everything I want to do. Because I'm making myself focus on one thing solely. So everything else has fallen by the wayside. And that makes me sad sometimes because I'm a multi-potentialite. I'm a person that has a lot of interest and in a lot of different creative areas. And I want to do it all. And so the only way I can do that is if I, you know, block out my time to do that, you know. So I can see Emma's way, and I just know like my personality. So I need to get to be a little bit better like Emma and, you know, try those little snippets like that, you know.
We all want to be Emma.
You don't want to be me. That would be weird.
I kind of like my boy bits. You're good. Like I'm not going to be doing hormone replacement therapy or anything. Incidentally, HRT, I used to work in tax back in the UK when I was working in London, personal tax, and it was specifically international tax for expats and international travelers. Anyway, at one point they thought about branding it as human resource tax, which is kind of what it was. And then it'll be like, well, no, it sounds too much like a hormone replacement thing. Sorry. Anyway, thought I'd just share that random bit of information now that we're talking about it. So yeah, I mean, Eloise has some thoughts on that, which is like, she's got some thoughts about doing scenes and where to stop. Yeah. And she's found the way that works for her. So I think consensus here is that, you know, you have to do what works for you, right? Everyone's different. I couldn't work the way Emma does, and I'm sure Emma couldn't work the way I do. or Kat, you know.
No, I could not work the way that you do, because I mean, how I prefer to work is just to be able to spend as long as I want and just absorb myself in it. And Andy's like up and about all the time. They barely stay still. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere, and I haven't moved for like 4 hours, and he's done like 4,000 steps.
Yeah, I couldn't not move for 4 hours. That would just be. Richard is here. Good to see you, Richard. Bringing the sass. We miss all. Yeah, it was family-friendly discussions for the most part. Oh my gosh, I can't read some stuff like that. What happened to harvesters, Richard? Oh dear.
He was having a change.
Time. Yeah, I don't eat at. I've had Pizza Hut, but I don't know. I haven't had Pizza Hut in like a long time. I'm actually like.
I was saying to Richard that I don't think I've been in a Pizza Hut since 1996.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a long time. I don't remember last time I was in a Pizza Hut, but it probably was not 1996. It was probably more recent. I don't remember how recent. So, and yeah, Richard actually created an AI song about Emma, and it's called "Oh Emma."
Have you not heard it?
I have not.
Have you not heard
Richard,
this monstrosity?
If you got the link to that "Oh Emma" song, by all means, plug it in the chat.
So bad. It's like a power rock 80s ballad thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think you should. I write for more than 8 minutes a day.
Congratulations.
That is impressive. I write. I sometimes I don't write at all. Lunch buffet. I've never had the Pizza Hut lunch buffet.
I have.
I have.
Any
As
good?
a teenager, I remember going with my mum and my sister.
Good memories of the lunch itself. What about you, Kat? Any? I don't remember.
Yeah, I've had it before, not often, but normally when I would go to Pizza Hut, it was with my boys because we had a program. I'm sure y'all had it there too if you have Pizza Hut. But if you read so many books or whatever, met your goal, Pizza Hut gave you a free coupon for a personal pan pizza. And so my boys would bring it home and we would go to Pizza Hut and we would get our little personal pan pizzas.
Oh, that's nice. No, we never had that.
Y'all didn't have that? Oh.
No, yeah.
I would have got so fat. Can you imagine? Free pizza every time I read a book.
Well, it wasn't for every time you read a book. It was like for the month. It was like the month if you met your goal for the reading or whatever. So you would only have to do it once per month.
Actually,
so many months.
That's an interesting point. So just want to say Richard has plugged Emma's song that he created. So if anyone would like to go check that out, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. This is why we shouldn't have AI. That song is wild.
Yeah, AI is like wild right now. But that brings up a good point. Like you guys read, I obviously read sometimes. I don't read nearly as much as you guys do, but how do you decide what to read? So there's so many books out there. And as you say, Kat, there literally is a limited time for all of this, you know. So you have to decide which zombie erotica, for example, you would like to read.
Well, what I do for myself for reading, I'm really by nature a mood reader. I used to just be whatever. What am I in the mood for? And I read multiple books at one time. And so for many years, I read like a nonfiction book, I read an adult fiction book, and I read some kind of children's literature, whether it was a middle grade book or some picture books or whatever. So that was like my monthly thing. And usually my nonfiction book would last pretty much the whole month because nonfiction, you could read a chapter at a time and get through a nonfiction book in a month. And so my middle grades and my adult fictions were the ones I'd go through a little bit, quicker. But since I've been on BookTube and started participating in readathons, that kind of, for a while there, I was reading things specifically for that or for a book club that I'm participating in. But that has kind of been changing for me because I miss the spontaneity of just being able to pick up a book that I want to read whenever I want to read it. So even though I even host my own readathons, I will pick what I want to read off my bookshelf if I can, and before I go out and buy something, I guess is the best way. But I'm still having the choice of reading what I want to read. And I've even gotten to where I'm not really making TBR videos anymore because I was getting to the point that I felt pressure to read what was on that TBR instead of reading really what I wanted to read. Because even if at the beginning of the month, I really wanted to read, say Pride and Prejudice, but by the time I got to it, I might not have wanted to invest the time in that, because reading Pride and Prejudice is different than reading, a Jack Reacher book,
Yeah.
So I want to be able to read what I want to read when I want to read it. And so I'm trying right now to do a good balance of, I'd like to participate in the readathons. I like hosting my readathons, but I need to figure out a way to just be a mood reader with that. So I'm kind of changing my outlook on that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I need to also read more of the books I have on my shelves instead of just going out and buying books, just because it has a wonderful cover. Now, with that being said, I do want to support my authors that I know I'm pretty much going to be guaranteed I'm going to enjoy the book. So Stephen King's new book came out. Yeah, I pre-ordered it because I'm going to read it, because I've practically read everything that he writes, so same thing. I'm already collecting Emma's books. I've read one of them and I've got 2 on my shelf. So I'm going to support my authors that I know is going to be a sure thing but I have to read the books I have on my shelves. I'm sure I have at least 1,000 books, and I haven't read a majority of those books. I have more unread books on my shelves than I have read books. So anyway.
Gotcha. Before we go to Emma, let's do a short 15-minute break for sprints, or a break, because we've been on screen for about just over an hour actually. I think we need a little break, and then we will be back. Shall we do 10 minutes or 15 minutes? What do you guys think? What would you guys like?
I'm whatever you want to do. I'm flexible.
What do you want to do, Emma?
I already feel I've caused enough trouble by messaging you to say I want a cup of tea and can we have a sprint?
Okay, shall we do 15 minutes then? We'll do 15 minutes. I think that's reasonable. So it's not too short with 10 minutes, but it's not too long with like 2 hours. So we'll do a 15-minute sprint. We're only going to go to in top of the hour, so we've got a bit of time left. So okay, let's do a 15-minute sprint. Give everyone some time to stretch their legs, and then I'll see you in 15 minutes. See you soon, guys. Okie dokie. That is our break done. I don't think we'll need a short break. But there you go. Okay, I'm gonna put the guinea suit up because it's such a talking piece. Oh my god! And incidentally, Kat has kindly shared the the disguise as a bird watcher, and that was that was the came up and googled it. Ay, 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 ay. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. I'm gonna put Cats and Giggles back on. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a little break. Hopefully that was a good break. I needed to use the bathroom and make a cup of tea, so I've got both accomplished. I feel like this is one of those things where I really should write it down on my to-do list and then just check it off, so I feel accomplished for the day. You know. I know it's the small things in life, but there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we left off, we were talking about how so Kat was sharing how she decides what she would read, and she's got lots of books, and she's gonna just kind of go through like a feeling. She just wants to read whatever she wants to read, which is cool, about limited time and stuff. How do you decide what you want to read, Emma? Because obviously now you're doing your Regency and you're reading that rapid Regency and stuff like that. So how do you decide? Because you obviously have your author business to deal with as well.
Yeah. So I read a lot for work anyway, for my editing jobs and when I'm being a book coach. So I read exactly what I want. I always have a fiction book on the go, and then a writing craft book as well. Those are always physical books. And then sometimes I have a physical nonfiction as well, but I always have an audio book that is nonfiction on the go as well, for like when I'm having breakfast, when I'm washing up and things like that. So usually 3 books, sometimes 4
Wow.
on the go. Once I was reading a lot of Regency romances when I first started writing my own, just so I could really get into that feel of it. Watching a lot of like Bridgerton, I called that work, Jane Austen adaptations and things. But I did want to read those as well because I was kind of in that mood. It wasn't that I was forcing myself to. Years and years ago, I had a book review website, and it was great. It was great fun. But as it grew, I used to get sent a lot of books, which is really, really nice. It's lovely. But I used to feel so bad if I didn't have time to read them all, because big publishers, I didn't mind so much because they just like send you books and you just read what you want. But sometimes authors would just out of the blue send me a book that I hadn't necessarily agreed to read, and then I'd feel really bad if I couldn't fit it in. And I was always trying to play catch up with this massive pile of books, some of which I wasn't really that interested in, and I was never really reading what I wanted, which was one of the reasons that I stopped doing it. So now I very much read what I want. But what I find really interesting about Kat, that I discovered when I was watching her video recently, was that she has never given up, not finished, DNF'd a book. And I was like, but life is too short. Life is
I think Kat picks the books. She picks the books she wants to read. So if she says she's not going to read it, she's gonna. I mean, she obviously will read it because she picked it, I guess. What do you
Yeah, I mean, the reason is, I mean, I've gotten pretty discerning about what I'm going to read, and I've come close on a couple of books. And the only reason I continued those couple of books was because I was doing a reading project. So it's kind of hard for you to attend a live chat to discuss a book and then say, sorry, I DNF'd it, even though it was the worst thing I've ever read in my life.
Yeah.
And then trying to find some redeeming quality for that book that you gave a 2.5 star for. But what it's taught me, and I think that's what I responded to your comment, Emma, on that video, was I just tend not to read that author again, or try not to read anything similar to that again. And that's another thing with the readathon aspect of it. It's like, if you're reading something for a readathon and you get stuck with a book or a book club, pick or whatever that you didn't have control over, sometimes you slog through it because, one, you spent the money on the book, and then two, you're participating in something that somebody wants to, have it. So luckily, though, I've only had maybe 3 times that I can think of that I've stuck with a book that I probably would have abandoned. Now, that's not to say that I don't have books on my shelves or books in my buckets or whatever that I probably no longer want to read, just because they don't interest me anymore. And that's one of the things I have to do, is go through my books and purge and say, am I really going to read this? Kind of thing, and then get rid of those books. It's a little bit different than DNFing, because I'm not actually even attempting.
You're not even giving them a chance. You're just like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I do have one book. I have The Deadly Education that I talked about, and I will eventually get to that. But that book, I just picked it up at the wrong time. So that's why I say I can't really say I DNF'd it. It just wasn't good timing to read that book. And I have to be in the mood to read a book, honestly. It took me a long time to read Sense and Sensibility. It was for a book club it was our book club selection for April, and I just finished it a few days ago. And it wasn't that I think it's a terrible book. It was too much. It was taking too much brain width for me to read it and understand it, because it's not an easy book to read, in my opinion. So
no, you have to get into the language and really envelop yourself in it. And I don't think it works if you're just reading a little bit every now and again, if you've got other books on the go. I think if you're reading something like Austen or Dickens, you need to just focus on that.
I agree.
Get into it. Yeah. And then you enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just hard work.
Yeah, I just, no. I've shared this before on my channel a few times, but basically I got like an E, a D, and then an E in English literature when I was doing exams back in the day. So I did worse the second time. Oh my God. I don't even know why I'm trying to write, really. It's crazy. But
because you have something to say. You have something to say, and you have a story. You have a story to tell, and we want to hear it.
Yeah, the bird watching thing. I got banned. But basically, right, it is true. Like it does take a lot of brain power to get into some of those things, and I just could not get into it. Like I really struggled for like 50 years when I was doing English literature back in the day. It was terrible, and my brain is just not wired like that. So my brain is wired for simple words. Yes, that's the kind of book I'm writing right now. So it's for simple, like it's not, you don't have to reach for a dictionary every 5 seconds.
Right.
So it's written for like in the UK it would be considered, I don't know, what's like Form 2 or Form 3, I don't know what the terminology is, like grade 8, 9, thereabouts, level of reading. It would not be much more beyond that. That's the kind of book I like to read. And
because it's easy reading. We all like books like that. We all like books that we can just escape into and be in the story and not have to think about the language.
Exactly.
Maybe you were just given really terrible texts to study for English, because if you're given a good story and if you've got a decent teacher, I mean, I had to, for A-level English, I had to study Milton's Paradise Lost. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just no. That stopped me from carrying on and doing English at university, because I was just like, absolutely no way. No, this thing is dreadful. It puts you off.
At least you found out nice and early. So
I guess it's dreadful. Whereas when we were because we were able to choose what texts we wanted when we were looking into English literature GCSE for our boys. So the exam board gives all the texts, and they were able to choose the ones that they want.
Oh wow!
So that was really cool. So like they got to do Pride and Prejudice, which they really liked, and Inspector Calls as well. The play they thought was really brilliant. There was another one that they really enjoyed. I can't remember what it was. I
Garfield.
can't remember, but it was, you know, they were really good. They were ones that they were interested in. They didn't have a lot of interest in Shakespeare at all, so they chose not to do Shakespeare, for example, because you don't have to. You know, you just have to choose one from each section.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done like picture books if I could, like comic books.
Why?
And there's value in picture books and comic books.
There is, like
There is. I love picture books.
Yeah.
So do I. He's just trying to make me mad.
Don't make Emma mad.
Yeah. Calm down, Lisa.
Look, now you've made Paris mad. Yeah, look what you did. He's all rattled up.
Yes, I think he's
like,
saying
"Lisa,
stop it,
what are you
Oh my god. Cool. Well, I have quite a few books that I have not read that I probably will never read, so I'm okay with that. But anyway, Richard's got a good question actually. Where do you offload physical books that you aren't going to read, Kat?
So I'll find a home for it. Like sometimes I'll donate it to the library if I find a little free library. If I know that there's someone in my booktube community that would like to read it, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, I'm going to get rid of this book. Would you like it? And I'll just mail it to them. Sometimes I put the books in a giveaway. Like if I'm having a giveaway, like in November, I did it for the first time on my channel in November, and I'm going to do it again where it's like a gratitude. It's grateful to my subscribers, my friends that show up every week. I put whoever wants to be put into the little picker wheel and we pick, you know, it's either books that I have read or I'm not going to read. I put it there. It's not that the books might necessarily be it could be still great books. I mean, I can think of a couple of them that I would still want to read that I at one time wanted to read, but I don't want to make the time to read them now. So I don't feel uncomfortable about passing them along to somebody else I think that would like it, that would treasure it, you know, kind of thing. And then also books that I do read that I just don't want them taking up shelf space, I pass those along as well too. A lot of times I do that with middle grade books that I'm, you know, get copies of and I'll read it and it was a great story, but it needs to go to someone else's home or a classroom library. Some of my teacher friends, I'll ask if they want it for their classroom library, you know? So, yeah.
Look what you did. You made Andy leave. Thanks a bunch, Kat. Thanks a bunch. I cannot
Where did
believe
it go? Where did it go?
You did that.
I did that?
Yes. Why would you do that? That was so mean.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Kat.
Isn't it really Richard's fault because Richard asked the question?
It probably was. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kat. It wasn't you. It was Richard.
Okay, thank you.
No,
I don't want to get on your bad side, Emma.
No, Andy's messaging me. His Chrome's crashed again, so he's just rebooting, and he'll be back. We'll be absolutely fine.
I was like, where did everybody else go? I thought I was going to have to do a song or something.
Sorry.
No. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, my Chrome crashed. Sorry about that.
Not long now.
Yeah.
And then you're doing a stream after this?
I'm joining someone's stream, so yeah, that should be good.
Okay.
What did I miss? So how has Emma revealed the secrets of writing a best-selling book in like 2 seconds now?
No, actually I was being chastised because Emma said I made you leave. And I said, technically, wouldn't it have been Richard since he asked the question?
we decided that it would.
Sorry, I threw you under the bus.
There's always a home for secondhand books. I think you can always find somewhere.
Oh yeah, To donate I would not ever throw books away. In fact, my family wants me. Well, specifically my husband. I have encyclopedias from 1989 in my house, the year that my oldest son was born, and he's 35. So my husband's like, really? And I'm like, but they're beautiful and they're in good condition. And I can't imagine throwing them away or burning them or whatever. And people don't take them. Like if I could find a good home for them, then I could release them. But the thought of throwing away something that is in such great condition just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's an ill. I'm like a weirdo, I guess.
Well, no, it's important to find if you can find a good home for the books
Yes,
you
that's
care
how I
about.
feel.
You know, like I don't generally have that much attachment to books, so I tend not to. But I do keep the books though, so the ones I do like, I just keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all books. Like I have attachment to. There are some books that I've been bought that are like really special to me, but not all books. Or some books that like I read to my boys when they were little. I've kept those. A lot of them, honestly. You know, but they're not like they're in boxes in the attic. They're not like out in the house. I've kept those.
Annie is very picky about me. Yeah, I am actually quite picky with what I buy on Amazon. It's true. It's true.
Richard, behave.
Yeah, exactly. Behave. Original editions of Harry Potter. That I would not be throwing out anytime soon or burning. But you know, every year I used to get, I still get them actually. Tax law books because I used to work in tax. So yeah, those books.
Some light reading.
No, because I'm still subscribed as a paid member of like tax technicians or something like that, right? So they send it to me every year. Anyway, I haven't read any of those for a long time. Just so we're clear, it's not.
That's not his pleasurable reading.
I think it is his pleasurable reading.
You see, Swank, I'm not the only one. But what year is your complete set of Encyclopedia Britannica? I just need to know. How old is it?
That's my collector's items.
Relevant.
I don't think it does. It goes up in value if it's less relevant, surely, because then you can go back.
It's of historical interest, Kat.
Exactly.
Hey, look, if we had a zombie apocalypse and we no longer had the internet and you needed to look something up, you would not have a way to look it up.
I still wouldn't want a book that was 35 years old.
Yeah, but still, people who were born during the zombie apocalypse wouldn't know what our history was. They could go back in the encyclopedia and look.
Okay.
That's a good point. So
the things that they write about people, authors from long ago, is not going to change, right?
That's
Are we then assuming that we don't have the internet because of zombie-thon?
Yeah.
Well, if we had a zombie apocalypse, we would eventually lose internet because the people who were in charge of that would eventually, go away.
I don't know. Maybe zombies might evolve and become smarter than humans somehow.
Oh, that's true. That's possible. I guess that is possible.
Well, I don't know. People always portray zombies as like mindless beings that don't know anything and they're just going around trying to bite other people or eat other people. But maybe the zombies are just like they got a rash and that's it.
They got a rash from wearing a thong that was too tight.
And so nobody knows which are the zombies because it's covered up.
Unless they're wearing the foot thong.
Exactly. It could be both. It could be both thongs. Both kind of thongs. Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh, 1978 or 1979. Wow. Okay.
That collector's item for sure now.
That is. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. So now I'm going to say, I'm going to tell my husband this. My friend Swank has her Britannica encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I do enjoy good nibble. But 1978, 79 encyclopedias, those are collector's items now, surely. I mean,
just think, I was 10. Your group of encyclopedias, I would have been 9 and 10.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's I don't know. I think if we had a zombie apocalypse or something, the last thing we would be worried about is looking up random bits of history in an encyclopedia.
Yeah, but eventually, when the zombies were like destroyed and we were rebuilding society, it would be down to Cat's Encyclopedia Britannica.
That's true. That's true.
And then you could actually use your encyclopedia as a weapon.
Yes.
It's heavy enough. I mean, you could just like, pa.
Smash those brains.
Yes. Yeah.
I've never tried. I don't think I
Well, I'll train. I'll make sure I train now.
Yeah. 2 hours every day with the encyclopedia.
I have to get my muscles in check because I really do not have good upper body strength. I would be able to run away, but as far as like combat, I would have to really build up my upper body. You do. You just never know. Yeah. I mean, we could have other kind of apocalypses too. We could have the rise of the machines.
We could.
I think that's probably more likely right now with AI and everything, you know?
Right, exactly.
But maybe, here's the twist, maybe AI is so smart, it's going to introduce a virus to zombify humans. Ooh. And then, and then the rest of the population just fall into line eventually.
It'll be the modern zombie that was influenced by AI.
Exactly. It could be like, I don't know. We're into conspiracy theories now. Yeah, I'm not. But here, Richard says he refuses to believe Kat is any older than 21 years old. Oh,
Richard, that is so sweet of you, but no.
It depends on the charm.
I was like, Kat's no older than 25, but yeah, that one's gonna beat me for sure.
Yeah.
No. I appreciate that, but it would be a little hard considering I have a 35-year-old.
Yeah, you're lucky, Richard. Lucky Kat, I mean. All Richard ever says to me is, "Oh, you're so old."
Yeah, exactly. Richard like tells Emma she's old, and it's always like, oh, this typewriter, you're older than this typewriter.
You're older than this typewriter. You're older than this. You're so old. You're so old. And then you come on, and he's like, "Okay, you can be older than 21." Oh.
Exactly. That's how I imagine Richard saying this. I refuse to believe Kat is any older than 21 years old.
21 years old.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah, what are you after, Richard?
Exactly the question. What do you want? How much do you want?
Oh dear. Yeah, have them in high school. Nice encyclopedias. I had no idea they were that useful for zombie apocalypse.
Well, actually, the encyclopedias were very helpful for my oldest son more so than for Andrew, because he used them a lot. He used them a lot for school, because back then we didn't really have, we didn't start off with the internet, until later. So, he ended up he had to do, I wish I could remember what they called it. He was like in fourth grade, either fourth or fifth grade. And his teacher had him do these special things where he had to find facts for stuff. And he hated it because he'd have to go look it up in the encyclopedia, then write all these facts down for these specific topics. I wish I could remember what the name of it she called it. But every month they got assigned this, for them to learn these different things. And it tortured him. The encyclopedias tortured him.
Well, at least it's easier to find stuff out now. Google and,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, that's the point my husband makes. He's like, really? Anything you want to know in those encyclopedias are online. I'm like, I get it.
But you like them.
But keep them. I mean, by all means, keep them, because it's got sentimental value. It's not just for reading.
Well, I shouldn't really have that much of an attachment to them, honestly. What I could do is, I guess, I could package them up, because they're on a bookshelf. I could pack them up in a box and stick them in the attic.
Yeah.
And then if the humidity and heat of Louisiana ruins them, then I'm just like, darn. That's a shame that happened. Then I would probably be okay with throwing them away or burning them or whatever.
Or this is what you do. You use the mum guilt thing. You're like, oh, my wonderful son, do you remember all those wonderful hours that you spent with these encyclopedias? It would mean so much to me if you would keep them in your home so that I can still see them every time I visit and remember those good times.
Well, that would mean he would have to move away out of the house. Right now, he's currently in my home.
In his room, then. They can go in his room so that he can experience the glory
That's
of
a
them.
good point.
And the memories.
No, he would not keep them. The next thing I would know, I would look out the window and there'd be a bonfire and he would be out there roasting marshmallows or hot dogs or something. And I'd be like, where did you get all that fuel from? And he's like, remember Abraham Lincoln?
That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, in fairness, like, books are really quite good for bonfires and stuff. So if you ever get like, I'm not suggesting you burn any books right now, but
think about it too. During a zombie apocalypse,
exactly,
if I needed
zombie
fuel,
apocalypse.
I mean, my books could come in handy.
Zombie apocalypse. Come on, if it's an apocalypse and you need heat, I mean, books are probably one of the things you need to.
You were just going to say the first thing. Do you even know your audience? Have you got any idea of the people who are watching?
I don't think. I mean, if we're in an apocalypse, we got bigger issues. And I'm doing them a public service right now.
Could you imagine if we had the zombie apocalypse happen like right now as we're giving out this information to people?
We saved the human race because everybody grabbed books and started bopping zombies on the head and burning them.
I mean, coincidences do happen, right? Like all the 500 planets aligning across all the universes and stuff,
I mean, we could have some kind of an asteroid come with some kind of weird virus and it hits the Earth and,
And then AI gets word that it is a virus from the asteroid and then decides to spread it through the human race and we're all zombified within 2 months.
Right.
Yeah.
It happened. I'm trying to help the human race right here. You need fuel to burn stuff to keep warm. I'm kind of saving the Last of Us here, public service.
Really good of you. As he sits there grabbing all my copies of the baby plan and shoving them in the bonfire. And I'm like, dude, it's August, it's boiling. You're like, it's for the greater good.
No, we're not burning books anytime soon. But if you can't find a home, try and find one, and hopefully you see. The problem with the argument of guilt tripping your son into taking your books is you use words like, do you remember the wonderful time you had? No, I don't remember.
No, he would say, I hated that so much. That is even more reason why I want to go put it in a bonfire and roast a hot dog over that flame.
It's called PTSD.
Exactly.
I might bring a flashback, and then he might hit me with the encyclopedia.
That's a little extreme, but
no, he really would not. I don't want anybody to think my son would hit me with an encyclopedia. It was just for comic relief.
That's right. This is for jokes. We're not seriously contemplating a lot of things.
That's right. This is just for giggles. That's right.
Yeah, yes. Exactly.
No cat was harmed in the
making of
talking about this video.
Oh my goodness. And let's just make sure everyone knows no birds were harmed in any bird watching chat we had today as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bird watching chat today.
And no zombies were harmed in the fact that they wore too tight thongs, whether on their feet or
they were fine
in another area of their, like on top of their head or anything like that.
Wherever they like to wear these things.
Whenever they choose to wear that thong, the other foot
non-fit clothing item.
Yes, right. The other clothing accessory.
Oh dear. Buttercup Nicole says, I throw out extremely used books that are falling apart. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I've had to do that before. Dude, scroll down.
Oh, okay. I can't repeat that, but yeah, some giggles for sure. Without Wi-Fi, electricity, books will become yes, they will be, and it will be important to rebuild the human race and history. So RC is here. Hi, RC.
Hey,
How's it
RC.
going? Chloe, purely optional. Exactly. When you're in a zombie apocalypse, right?
I'd still like
Is
people to be
RC, have you written any zombie books? He likes to write horror.
Yeah, I think it's horror. Does he?
RC could be the first one to write one that includes a zombie with a thong.
There we go.
Yeah, there we
Zombie
go.
thong niche RC. Yeah, perfect timing, really.
Yeah, get on it. Thank you.
Oh my god.
I got a workout today with all the laughing.
Yeah, well, you know, you've already had an ab workout with all the laughing, so I think you got that bit covered. Zombies are too played out. Okay.
Hush, RC, hush.
No, but that's why we're giving you an idea. Zombie thong has never been played out.
Yeah, we're making it original.
That's right. It's super neat.
Play on a popular thing. Don't be difficult. Why do you always have to be like this, RC? Just do it.
Exactly.
Just write the story. It won't take you long. Yeah. Just dedicate it to us. It's not really that big an ask. Really.
Walking Dead killed the genre. Do you think this is true?
I do not think that is true. No.
I watched Walking Dead until it just.
I'm still watching Walking Dead stuff.
No, I stopped watching it because it just dragged on.
I stopped watching it at certain points, and it was too gross. I was like, okay, no.
Too much gore for you? Is that?
Yeah.
Was that so if there was no gore, you'd be okay watching the rest of the story, basically.
I don't know. I might have got bored by now because it has been going on for 50 years.
It's like one of these
11 seasons. 11 seasons.
It's too long for me. Like it's one of these soap opera things, drama things. It's like, oh my god.
I like it for the characters. I like my characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know why, Andy? You're more plot driven than character driven, aren't you?
I believe so. Although I do need to try and have some character development because.
No, I get it. I mean, there's character development in a plot driven story, but that may explain why you didn't want to do it watch it anymore. Because Walking Dead is more character driven, I think, than plot driven.
Yeah, because the plot is.
I mean, they're literally have more. It's basically conflicts that they're experiencing in a zombie apocalypse. So it's just that the conflicts are going to change, but your character development over this whole span is what I find interesting.
Yeah.
Especially with certain characters who had a really dramatic character arc, like Daryl and Carol, for example.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Daryl Dixon, are you actually kidding me?
What about him? He did have a big character arc.
I think Emma's got pots for him.
I know, he was amazing.
That's what it is.
He did from the beginning to the
He
end.
just needed to find some shampoo from somewhere.
Shampoo.
You know?
Oh my goodness. Cool. We are nearly at the top of the hour. We can close off a couple of minutes early. It's fine. Would you be okay doing a brief outro, or take as long as you want? Emma can do a short outro, but Kat can do a longer outro if you want. There's no like. Oh wait! Before we do,
why do you hate me?
It's Daryl Dixon driven, and then what is this? I volunteer to clean him.
Get in line. Get in line.
Oh, okay.
Emma's
going to be cleaning him first, apparently. So I can tell you for sure I will not be volunteering for that job. So by all means, feel free to go and clean. Yeah, I will not be volunteering to clean anyone who's in a zombie apocalypse. But I am happy to volunteer to throw encyclopedias and books into a bonfire for humanity's sake. For humanity's sake, Raoul. try and keep humanity
What I would
going.
be, what I would think is cool is with each crackle, as the encyclopedia is burning, some knowledge comes out of it, like it speaks into the universe. You know, crackle, crackle, crackle. This is what you know about Charles Dickens. This is what you know about this. Of course, I would be bringing like supernatural stuff into the whole experience, but
there you go. There you go. Cool. Thank you very much, Kat and Emma, for joining me today. Kat, would you like to do your outro?
Thanks for having me, Andy. I love being here with you and Emma, and I appreciate everyone hanging out with us for the time we've been here. Again, if you want to come visit me, I'm at Kat's Novel Adventures, and mainly I talk books. So yeah, and Zombiethon only has a couple of more days, and we will be closing out on the 31st of May.
Nice, nice. Thank you for joining me and Emma today. And Emma, would you like to do your outro?
I write books and have to speak really quickly because Andy wanted me to do a short outro because he hates me.
You can take as long as you want. Like, I'm going to give you another hour. Go ahead.
I'm done. It's fine. You hate me.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you had lots of fun, lots of laughs, lots of giggles. I certainly had lots of giggles today. Cool. Anyway, let's close off there. I've got another stream I'm going to join soon. I will catch everyone on Sunday, hopefully. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.